Good morning and welcome back to Community Couch Time. I'm Ms. Guadalupe Carrasco Cardona, and I'm going to come to you daily with topics that we should be talking about, things that are happening globally, things that are happening nationally, things that are happening in our community, but most importantly, things that we oftentimes don't talk about. And the question is, why shouldn't we? And the thing that's really amazing is that we get to share our perspectives with another amazing human being, Miss Tiffany Wallace.
Good morning, great minds and good people. I'm Miss Tiffany Wallace, and thank you for having me for Community Couch Time. Now, let's start the discourse.
Good morning and welcome back to Community Couch Time. How are you, Ms. Wallace?
I'm doing great, Miss Cardona. How are you?
I'm also doing really great. Just every day seeing the sky get a little bit bluer after having, orange skies more or less. That makes me feel really good. But aside from that, I'm just doing the best I can to see what I can do to make the world a better place, one person at a time.
That's right, and it's really important that we reward ourselves for the accomplishments that we have every single day. Just getting up, going to class, coming to talk to you. I really enjoy our Community Couch Time sessions.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, it's great to talk about these issues and it's just to help ground me into like a positive part of reality. There's always the positive that's there.
I agree. And so today, something really cool happened. When I got up in the morning and I logged into my computer and I had to do a Google search, I saw on Google a Google Doodle. You know how whenever there's some type of a special occasion, Google does this really cool thing where they commemorate it, right? Instead of it just saying Google, all with like a million O's. And so today's was on a very special person, Felicitas Mendez, who was really a part of a very important case called the Mendez versus the Westminster Board of Education. It went all the way to, actually it didn't go to the Supreme Court. It went in the district court here in California, and then eventually was used as the precedent for Brown versus Board of Education, right? Which is, desegregation of schools, right? Which undoes Plessy versus Ferguson. Amazing, right? This whole notion that, separate is never equal. So you just to have schools segregated by race is ridiculous. And so what essentially happened is Felicitas Mendez is a Puerto Rican American, and she was married to a Mexican American, and they had children. And they were able to, to rent a farm, which was huge for them because instead of working on somebody else's farm, they were going to be able to do their own, production of agriculture. And then they faced a situation where they were not allowed into the local school. This is really close by too. It's here in Orange County. And so would you like to watch a quick little a film that shows the Google Doodle process as it pertains to Felicitas Mendez?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Let's do that.
My daughter, my youngest daughter, she was reading this book, North of Mexico. She started reading about her father and her brothers and her sisters. And this is my family. And she didn't know nothing about it because I never even told her. A lot of people didn't think we win in Westminster. They thought that there was a, lost cause.
When I see Felicitas, I see a strong woman, a fighter, a mother, a pioneer in the civil rights movement, fighting for the same rights for her own family and heritage. I'm Emily Barrera, and I'm an illustrator in the Google Doodle team. Felicitas Mendez, she's from Puerto Rico. Her husband, Gonzalo, was from Mexico, and they lived in California, owned a cantina, and they had an opportunity to rent a farm, but there were segregated schools in their district, and they wanted their kids to have better opportunities. To be honest, when Google approached me with a Felicitas Doodle, I had no idea who she was. But once I started doing research, I felt a strong connection being originally from Mexico and studying in the United States half of my life. My initial creative approach was listening to podcasts, looking for photographs, documentaries, listening to Sylvia Mendez, her daughter, talk at schools. And the more I found information about her, I kept identifying myself in her own fight and family.
We live on one side of Santa Ana. We used to take the children across the street to another school just to show them that they could go to any school they wanted.
I wanted to depict the best I could what her and her husband fought for, trying to stop segregated schools in California and equal education for not only their kids but all their community. I started doing quick sketches, quick thumbnails. First, doing either portrait takes or doing a scene, and then taking that to finish, building in the details, cleaning it up, and adding color. For this doodle, I put Felicitas in the foreground, looking slightly over her shoulder. I wanted to show that she was proud as kids of all colors, skin tones, go inside school with her husband, Gonzalo, walking with his 3 kids as well, just to convey the idea of like how they succeeded. When people see this doodle, I hope that it can start a conversation that Hispanic heritage is American heritage. We're all in this together. We're all part of this country, and we all deserve the same opportunity and chances. I have my own daughter, and I want her to also grow with the same equal rights as everyone else, to identify herself as a Latinx, and to identify herself also with this country.
I'm proud that at least we had the courage to do it, to fight for, not for our children, but for the other children, their children and their children.
Great. That was excellent. That was such a great video. Thank you so much for showing that to me and, just getting me excited about another part of history I had no idea about. And as I researched for that, just kind of looking some things up, I saw a lot of just solidarity that we talk about was very much part of this court case. Because in addition to them fighting, they were joined by the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, American Jewish Congress, Japanese American Citizens League, and the NAACP, who was represented by Thurgood Marshall. If y'all have seen Just Mercy, you've heard about his story, first Black Supreme Court Justice. So it was really such Jewish, Black, Asian, Japanese, all these different groups of people fighting to stop segregation, which, as you mentioned, Ms. Cardona, Plessy versus Ferguson, that was from 1896 until this case, 1946, and then finally, federally, in 1954. So when we look at our classmates and our teachers and the kind of diversity that we have, it's because of the Mendez fight. It's because of different groups of people who fought alongside them and took their leadership. So, and just Thurgood Marshall is just amazing. Also, pro-choice Supreme Court justice as well, and was part of Roe versus Wade. So if you're interested in different types of women's history, reproductive rights, it's just incredible how much this case connected people, and then they went and fought as well. So thank you so much for showing me this. Like, it's really eye-opening and just inspiring and filled with positivity.
Yeah, I agree. And I really liked how the Google Doodle artist was talking about how she herself was not even aware of who Felicitas Mendez was. And it was even inspiring for her. And I love how she uses, her gift of being an artist to share with us these stories. And yeah, you're right. It's absolutely inspiring. It's something that, I hope to be able to make an impact like that, where I can share stories in a way that is meaningful to me. And today's Community Couch Daily Journal, I'd like you to really think about what creative outlet you would use to share a message that's very important to you. So what is a creative outlet, and what is an important message that you'd like to share with others? Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you, Ms. Wallace.
Thank you, Ms. Cardona.
In la catch.
In la catch.